Evening, everybody. It's 6:26 on Wednesday, February 1st. Happens to be my birthday. And this is your closing comment, video number 1644. I'm going to go off script a little here. I'm sure you already know that the Dow was down 500 and finished up $7. Uh, S&P was up over 1%. The Nasdaq, which was really the star, up over 2%, up 231. And the biggest winner of the day was the transportations, and they were up on the back of a huge move on Federal Express. But here's what I want to talk about. Jay Powell, in today's press conference, said something several times that really rubbed me the wrong way because, as you know, it's never different. And what he said several times was that the setup here for our economy and the fact that they've raised rates so dramatically, um, the fact is, it's the only thing that's really different is the trigger. Overvaluation was here. It is here now. Valuation, PEs, discounted cash flow, the equation changes every time interest rates change. And literally, we cannot have the same valuations at zero cost of money as we can at 5% cost of money. It just doesn't exist. And so, um, while it's great, and it's not a foregone conclusion yet, but while it's great that they have taken a big piece out of the rate of change of inflation, not inflation itself, but the rate of change. So if we go from an inflation rate of 5 to an inflation rate of 2.5, yes, the rate of change has been cut in half, but inflation is still 2.5. And so I'm looking at some of these stocks, and I'm looking at the kind of rally that we had today, and it's scary to me. In any event, the big news today after the close was Facebook, Meta. It had closed at 153.12, up 415, and the earnings were not overwhelming, but the message was clear. I think Zuckerberg started by saying something like, this is a year of efficiencies, meaning that everything that they've done up until now, they can now become more efficient at. The daily active users crossed 2 billion for the first time ever, and the stock took off like a shot. 153.12 up to 184.22, with a last right now of 181.80, up $32.82, a 22% increase for a company the size of Meta. Pretty amazing. ELF, which is a makeup company, Elf Cosmetics. Stock closed at 58.51, and that was up 96 cents. They reported a beat, very strong numbers, and that went from 58.5 to 67. The last is 66.39, up 8.84, or 15.3%. And last but not least, Align, ALGN, did better than expected. They're the company that does those invisible braces that you see advertised on TV. That stock had closed up 12.80 already before the earnings, 282.53, up 12.80. It traded to 354. The last on it is just 330, up just $60 or 22%. These are not reasonable moves. I mean, they are what they are. I certainly don't begrudge anybody any move that we make, or I'd have to deal with, how well we're doing in our silver trade. But the fact of the matter is, these are not average times. There is a great deal in flux that we don't know about. And the bottom line here is these stocks are overvalued. And the trigger that hurt them was the pandemic. And while that seems to be pretty much over, the interest rates are still not supportive of an 18 or 19 times PE for any of these companies. All right, chart on the screen is the silver. And yesterday I showed you what happened. We got down again into that 23 area, closed up on the day and on the high. Now this bar right here, which was today, I'm going to bring it in a little closer. You can see it looks like it was up and closed on the low. I don't know what that's about because there are two sessions in all of these commodities. There's the regular session, and then there's the electronic session, which goes until 5 o'clock. So the silver showed a close here of 23.60, down 22 cents on the day, when I know I was looking at it and it was way up here at 24 and change. So this must have been a settlement price at the end of the first session, and it reopened and is now 28, excuse me, 24.18, which shows up 57 cents. In point of fact, that's not accurate. Or it's not accurate the way you and I would normally think about it. It's the same thing with the gold. It showed that the gold had closed at 1942.80, down $2.50, and right now it's 1970, and it shows up $27. So there has been some follow through on these, but these numbers are not apples to apples. Bitcoin was higher again today by about 500. It did cross over the 24,000 again. The dollar was down 89 cents. The bonds were up 1.75. The only thing that was down today was energy, and it was down across the board. So there you go. All right, everyone. I'll be back first thing in the morning. Tomorrow we have even more earnings. We have Alphabet, parent company of Google. We have Amazon and a couple of other big names, but I'll go over those first thing in the morning. We also have claims tomorrow, being Thursday. And on Friday, we have the government's number for unemployment or employment, as you choose. All right, folks, I'll be back tomorrow. Have a good evening.